So before because we have 4 minutes left, there are a few questions coming in. Yeah, thank you. Yeah. Few questions have arrived online, but before I ask these, do you have any questions to Raivo or Olga or once again to Maurice that have you figured out at the meantime? If not, then there is one question, Raivo, to you and Marianna. So there is the information and data that you showed in your presentation basically shows that Estonian-speaking population, Russian-speaking populations are coming together in terms of their attitudes to more closer and closer. So the question here is how to make sure that those trends will continue also in the future. So what the Estonian government or Estonian integration policies should do to ensure that those trends will continue. Yes, Raivo, please.
Yeah, this is a million-dollar question. And as in my presentation, here again, I have an answer to that question. And then the answer basically is same. My understanding is that in the multicultural context, it is extremely important to keep to your ethnic roots. Multiculturalism doesn't mean melting pot. And this holds both for minority group as well as for majority group. We very often talk about minority rights. I think we need to talk also in this broader context of majority right, to express freely your not nationalism, but let's say open nationalism, because in a kind of context of political correctness, this is somehow in the shadow. So my answer is that one way to solve in future these problems, we need to be open nationalists.
Thank you. Olga, similar question to you, or it's more even broader, because the new migrants who arrived to, let's say, to Estonia, for instance, and new migrants coming from Russian Federation, even before the war, there is a hypothesis going on in Estonia that those new migrants from Russian Federation start integrating themselves into not the ethnic Estonian population, but instead into the Russian or the existing Russian-speaking population that has been living here for the last 40, 50 years plus. So what is your take on it? Not even on the example of Estonia, but let's say from the example of Germany, because there is also a pre-existing large community of Russian speakers living there. So what do you think? Where do those new immigrants, which you said, they are very highly skilled, they bring along capital, knowledge, and so on, they may be a bit different from the already existing population there in Germany. So what do you think, into which kind of communities do they start integrating themselves? And what is there that let's say, the government of Germany or the integration policies of Germany can do to facilitate one or the other approach? Thank you.
It's a good question, the same as 1 billion question. I do not consultancy for German government, therefore I do not know what do they plan to do with the Russian immigrants coming today to them. The issue is as follows. The migration is not like one-way process. We should always think about some other mechanism, instruments, and groups involved in this process. And this is like state authorities, local communities, and etc. Personally, I'm probably the lucky one because I am surrounded of the people coming from Russia or whatever else, I don't know, Sierra Leone and etc. They are well educated, and the question for them, not where you're coming from, but what is your mother language and what is your interest. they're all human beings and depend our rights and our future only on our passport, I think it's the worst idea we can ever have. I suggest that every country, it's like, I'm very romantic one. I suggest that we start thinking about opportunities, knowledge, skills, and etc., and not on the passport and nationality. It can make our world better.
Okay, thank you, Olga. And I think we can end with this comment or this idea that instead of looking at our passports or the passports of the people and not putting those people into different groups, stereotypical groups quite often based on their passport or citizenship, we should more look at them based on their skills, their attitudes, their wishes, and so on. Okay, thank you once again very much, and we will finish it from here.